Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a really startling idea from our source material.
It's a big one.
Yeah, the premise is that poison is basically being sold as food, and that this represents a kind of hidden, ongoing catastrophe of our time, a slow degradation of, well, all of us.
And that's why this is probably the most vital deep dive we can offer you. Because this knowledge isn't abstract, it's deeply personal. Our mission today is to, quickly and clearly unpack what the sources call the 5 Pillars of Toxicity.
The 5 pillars.
You really need to get these because they're the mechanics that are dictating your energy, your focus, your mood. I mean, ultimately, your control over your own life.
Okay, let's unpack this. We have to start with the biggest culprits, right? The chemicals everyone sort of lumps together. We're talking about the sides.
Yes, and the research is really insistent on this point. We have to treat them separately.
Why is that?
Because their methods of attack on your body, on your biology, are fundamentally different. It's not just one big chemical soup.
Got it. Okay, pillar 1. Pesticides. So these are the insect killers, the agents designed to kill, insects, worms, anything that moves and tries to eat the crop.
Right. And, you have to ask the question, if they kill a small biological life form by attacking its nervous system, what do you think they're doing to us?
Attacking our nervous system?
It's a direct, devastating blow. The vast majority of these compounds are, by design, potent neurotoxins.
Wait, hang on. So you're saying they are literally designed to interfere with how our brains function?
Precisely. Their whole mechanism is to disrupt the transmission of impulses, to interfere with the electrical connection between your neurons and your cells.
So if you're eating these every day,
your brain and your central nervous system are in a constant state of struggle. They're just trying to communicate through all that noise.
And what does that translate to in your daily life? I mean, is that the afternoon slump, the brain fog, the reason you feel exhausted even after a full night's sleep?
It's all of that. It directly impacts memory, attention, mood, and maybe most critically, it stops the nervous system from ever achieving that deep restorative recovery. You're just constantly fighting this low-level toxic nerve inhibition.
Wow.
And the sources make a really searing point here. Millions of people, maybe you, mistake this chronic toxic fatigue for laziness or a lack of willpower, maybe a character flaw.
Yeah, really?
In reality, they're operating with a hijacked, inhibited nervous system. They literally don't have the energy because it's being chemically suppressed.
That is a terrifying thought. Okay, let's move to pillar 2, fungicides. So these kill fungi in the soil. What are they doing inside our bodies?
They're microbiome killers. It's that simple. In the soil, they're designed to wipe out these vital microbial networks like mycorrhiza, which are fundamental for a plant's health.
So they're destroying the foundation of life in the soil.
And the fungal world is central to symbiosis in life itself. The research is so clear on this. Now think about us.
Our gut.
Exactly. Our human gut is this massive, complex ecosystem of bacteria and fungi. It manages digestion, immunity, everything. When fungicides get in there and destroy that delicate balance, it leads to rapid internal inflammation.
And what does that look like?
It can be chronic weakness, severe allergies, all sorts of skin diseases. If the microbial world inside you is decimated, you are structurally, physically unable to be truly healthy.
Okay, so that brings us to pillar 3, herbicides. The plant killers. The source material calls these the quiet destroyers. Why quiet?
Well, because they don't give you that immediate nervous system crash like a pesticide might. They go after something much stealthier.
Which is?
Your hormonal system, your endocrine system. I mean, think about it. Hormones are the internal managers that regulate everything from your metabolism to your emotional state, your feelings, joy, motivation, happiness.
And the world's most popular herbicide is the prime suspect here, according to the research.
It's cited as a complete hormonal disruptor. It's catastrophic. The science shows it breaks down hormonal balance, it severely affects thyroid function, it radically reduces the production of immune cells, it damages the reproductive system, and statistically it leads to severe, heavy depression. And this isn't just a theory. This is all backed by clear biochemistry that shows the exact mechanism of this destruction.
So when these systems break down, people just lose that sense of internal control, that drive.
They lose their agency.
That's a very clear, very grim picture of the sides. So now let's shift to the other 2 pillars. These are what you might call the slow, invisible killers.
Right. We're moving away from direct assault and into the realm of things that accumulate. We're talking heavy metals, microplastics, and of course poor quality water, which, as the material points out, is the primary conductor for all of it.
But it's the microplastics that seem really insidious here. Why are they so dangerous?
It's because they're inert. That sounds safe, but it's not. They act like a powerful chemical sponge. Yeah, as they travel through your body, they're just soaking up and carrying other toxic substances, the pesticides, the heavy metals. They chemically cling to them.
So they become these little toxic delivery systems. And where are they delivering this poison?
Everywhere. They create these little pockets of chronic inflammation all over. But the truly alarming finding is that they can pass into the most protected areas of your body.
Like the brain.
The brain, the reproductive organs, the spine, the central nervous system. The research warns that every one of us functionally is now a microplastic carrier. It's a slow, long-term assault.
Okay, so if microplastics are the slow sponge, why does the source call mycotoxins pillar 5 the most hidden and dangerous enemy of all, even more than the synthetics?
Because of their sheer biological power and their stability. Mycotoxins are fungal poisons. They're produced by mold. And the sources state flat out that they are stronger than antibiotics, stronger than pesticides, and stronger than most industrial chemicals.
Stronger in what way?
Resistance. Your liver can work overtime trying to break down synthetic chemicals, right? But mycotoxins are extremely resistant to that process. They're incredibly stable.
What does that mean, stable?
It means they withstand extreme heat, freezing, even high acidity. They just stick around. They're incredibly difficult for your body to get rid of.
And you have no idea you're eating them. They're odorless, tasteless.
That's the ultimate hidden threat. You have absolutely no way of knowing they're in your food. They form in staple crops, grains, nuts, cereals, coffee. If those crops are grown on pathogens, or more commonly stored improperly, even for a short time, mold reproduces like crazy.
And fills the final product with these toxins.
Potent, stable toxins.
Yeah.
And once you consume them, they just wreak havoc. They severely damage the liver and kidneys, crippling your main filtration systems. They destroy immunity, and they're very closely linked to neurological disorders.
This is where it gets really interesting and, frankly, pretty frightening. What happens when all 5 of these pillars are working together, day after day? The research calls it the ideal storm.
And it's not addition, it's multiplication. It's an exponential effect. When you combine constant nerve inhibition, deep hormonal disruption, a destroyed microbiome, microplastic carriers, and stable mycotoxins, the result is a systemic collapse of your body's entire operating system.
So let's synthesize that. For someone listening right now, what is the lived experience of that daily toxic load? What does that feel like?
It feels like a pervasive, crushing, low energy. You have a nervous system that's constantly fighting and a hormonal system that's completely out of whack. You lose mental clarity and, crucially, your sense of control.
And the inflammation.
It just intensifies, it accrues, it never really passes, and psychologically, this toxic combination is what drives crippling procrastination, apathy toward life, and, yes, severe depression. Your body's using every last bit of energy it has just to survive the onslaught.
Which leads to the big question, why aren't we all screaming about this? The source uses the boiling frog analogy, which is just chilling.
Because it happens so slowly. It's an insidious degradation over years. The symptoms, the fatigue, the brain fog, they get completely masked. They get labeled as, just stress or lack of sleep or just part of getting older.
And doctors, for the most part, aren't connecting these chronic symptoms directly to what's on your plate.
Exactly. And the consequence of that is this personal tragedy where people are conditioned to believe being sick is normal.
Because everyone around them is also sick.
Right. So they blame themselves. I'm unlucky. I'm lazy. I lack willpower. They confuse chronic toxic exhaustion with some kind of deep-seated character flaw, instead of realizing their body is being actively poisoned.
It's a powerful argument. So, of course, we have to talk about solutions. The first thing any conscious consumer thinks of is organic food.
And this is where the research offers a really important course correction. Organic is an improvement, sure. It limits the sides. But it is often an insufficient solution. It can be an illusion of health.
How is it insufficient? If you're not using the synthetic chemicals, isn't that the whole point?
Not entirely. The research shows that many organic farms are operating on what you could call dead earth. Even with great organic methods, the soil just lacks the powerful living microbial biology you need to create genuinely strong food.
So the plants are clean, but they're still weak.
Their cells are effectively empty. They lack innate cellular density. You can taste the difference. The flavor is weak compared to truly vital living food. And here is the biggest issue. Organic certification provides almost no protection from mycotoxins.
Because the pathogen load in the soil isn't regulated or even really understood in that framework.
Precisely. The plants don't have the cellular strength or the protective compounds that come from a truly living soil. So the most powerful poisons, the mycotoxins, can still get in, even if the food avoided all the synthetic sprays. Organic is a step, but living soil is the actual solution.
That sets the stage perfectly for the alternative this material introduces, the need for living soil and the counter movement known as primate, which focuses on this regenerative approach.
This is a shift in thinking. It moves beyond just eliminating the bad stuff and focuses entirely on enhancing life. The food grown this way is cultivated in living soil that has what's described as an intellectual microbiome.
An intellectual microbiome, what does that mean?
It means the most powerful, comprehensive microbial community possible, all working to create and defend the plant.
And what are the results? What's different about this living food?
First, the primary goal is the total, verifiable absence of all 5 pillars of toxicity. That's baseline. Second, that powerful microbiome creates protective compounds inside the plant. You can see this physically in extremely high Brix levels.
Brix measures the density in sugar, right?
It's a proxy for real cellular density and strength, and this is key. The plants are so robust, so dense, that common pests simply can't pierce them easily. The plant defends itself.
And for you, the consumer, the difference is immediate.
Absolutely. The fruits and vegetables are powerful, they're dense, they have intensely bright, vibrant flavor and these unique, strong textures. Every single cell is filled with life, and that translates directly into real, lasting natural energy when you eat it.
Which brings us to the ultimate objective here. The goal isn't just to feed people calories. As the research concludes, it's to fundamentally return their strength, to give back the energy that's been systematically stripped away.
This whole deep dive forces you to confront the idea that chronic exhaustion and apathy might not be a spiritual problem, but a chemical one. We're absorbing constant chemical, neurological, and hormonal damage from our food.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? If food fundamentally controls our internal systems, our hormones, our nerves, our inflammation, our psyche, how much of what you think and feel and do today is actually being dictated by what's on your plate? That is the question you need to explore, because reclaiming your health starts with demanding living food.